TitleMatchNetwork.com.
You were close with Roddy around WrestleMania, obviously. Was he mad at all about having to work with Mr. T?
No.
It was just business.
Yeah,
I remember that when I did my interviews with him and Orndorff, they talked about maybe having to shoot on Mr. T if he wasn't quite.
Oh yeah, I can remember. Him. Roddy always took things and okay, this scenario, different scenarios that could occur. What he would do. Yeah, in fact, he shared some of that with me, but no, he was never didn't seem real too concerned.
What are your memories of the very first WrestleMania that you were part of?
I remember it was like, actually, looking back, I never saw it as big as a thing as it was. It was a pay-per-view, and I knew it was pay-per-view all over the world, but it was like another show to me. I remember after the show, went to the airport, and Roddy and I were flying back to Portland that night, and it was wild. So I go from Madison Square Garden to the airport, fly to Portland. We get off the plane, and girlfriend of mine picked us up, went back to my place, and then we go get some drugs, right? So we go to this house, get some drugs, and some coke, and we go back to my place. So Roddy's going to take a cab home. It's all the way across town, about 30 miles. I said, no, I'll drive you. So, okay, so we get in my car, and I drive him home. We sit in his driveway for about an hour, and now it's fog setting in, real bad fog. And I leave his place to drive back home, and I run a red light because of this fog. I didn't see the light. So I get pulled over, and I found out that when I got pulled over that I hadn't paid a parking ticket or some kind of a fine. So there's a warrant out for me. So I went and sat for 2 hours in the jail in Hillsboro, Oregon. So I went from being on the first WrestleMania pay-per-view, flying back to Oregon and going and spending 2 hours in a jail cell.
That sucks.
That's my memory of first WrestleMania.
What are your memories of the match itself?
I'd worked with Ricky so many times.
Right.
It was just another match,
Did you see any stress in Vince because of WrestleMania being?
I didn't know what the whole scenario, what was on the line for him at the time.
Some say if it didn't happen, it would have been it.
Yeah, that's what I had heard too. But I saw, because he'd come in the dressing room at WrestleMania 1 and to talk over finishes, and he came in and we're standing in the shower, I believe, and he just looked at me and I think he wanted to see that I had clear eyes, and wanted to make sure I was going to be ready to go and go out there and perform to the best of my ability. And I looked him right in the eye. I go, yeah, I'm good to go. Yeah. It was just like, but looking back, I could see he was a bit nervous. Yeah.
How big was it a step in the right direction, I guess, for WWF as far as them being popular doing WrestleMania? Do you think they needed to go national and do everything they did with the Rock and Wrestling Connection around this time period?
Oh, yeah. Obviously. He was, he had some balls, He stepped on a lot of toes, building that, taking talent from other territories, and made a lot of people upset.
Did you think that it was going to blow up the way it did?
You know what? Yeah. Maybe not quite to where it is today, I didn't really think that too far in advance about it,
Right.
But I knew it was a great thing.
Memories of WrestleMania 9.
I had a lot of luck at the blackjack table.
That was in where was it at?
Caesars.
Okay.
Yeah.
AC.
Yeah, I had a lot of luck at the black. It was a pretty good winner that night. Yeah.
You actually wound up in Hollywood doing some stunt work too.
Yeah.
What was that like?
that was fun actually. I got hooked up with Ernie Orsatti out there. He was a stunt coordinator, and was on the set of a few movies and doing some stuff, and living with a friend of mine down there. And I was down there for about 6, 7 months doing that. Not a lot of work at that time, but I ended up going back to Portland from there.
Any good on-set stories?
No,
No.
no. Oh yeah, okay. I was on this a set of Larger Than Life with Bill Murray, and so a lot of hurry up and wait type of situation. Standing around for hours before you have to do anything. So I'm standing around, and it was done in the airport. They were redoing the end of the movie, and I'm standing there at this book rack, just thumbing through some pages, and I say, I know Bill Murray. I'm reading this book, and it's about trash on Hollywood stars. I'm just looking through, and it's trash on guys and sick stuff. And all of a sudden, somebody says to me, he goes, "Is that a good read?" I turn around, it's Bill Murray.
That's great.
And I forget, who knows how long he's standing there watching what I was reading, and just goes, I'm just killing time. Put the book back.
TitleMatchNetwork.com